Change in Color is inclusion, diversity in faces, cultures, and stories. A break from the traditional narrative in media we see every day. I'm India Johnson. Join me as we highlight the beauty and the struggle. Change in Color. Color.
My name is Sanchez and I attend UCLA. I'm a psychology major and I chose that major being that I fell into depression when I was younger due to my mother's absence, being that she was a field laborer. By becoming a psychologist, I could give students back from, not only students, but like children from back from my community, like the help that I so needed as well. I believe I endured a lot of hardships, being that my father passed away when I was 3 years old. So that left my mother to support not only me, but my other two siblings as well. We suffered a lot because my mom had to work in the fields. Most of her life, as we speak, she's working in the fields. So that affected my life a lot because I didn't have my father around and I didn't have my mother around, being that she was working to support my siblings and I. I was forced to grow up at an early age because I was forced to, take care of my siblings, my younger siblings, take care of my sister, take care of myself when I was younger, and it just affected my whole life completely. I was alone most of the time. It's not that my mom didn't care for me, because she did. She was always there and she's like one of the strongest women I know. But I just didn't have her like other children in my age had their moms. My mom didn't get an education past the 3rd grade in Mexico. And my dad didn't get an education overall. So they didn't understand what higher education could do, not only for me, but for everyone. So it was very hard for me to explain to my mother the way the higher education system works here in the United States. So navigating between high school and college, explaining to my mother what that transition was going to be like was very difficult. I rarely even was at home because I was always doing like extracurricular activities and she was at work. So I had to find a time where she was available and I was available so I could explain to her from like the whole way, like all the ways that higher education works. Maybe it was like 12 at night and my mom would be home and I would have to sit down with her and explain to her, okay mom, like this is college, this is what it is. It's difficult because you make up your mind on what you want in life, right? And you have to find a way to explain to your own family what higher education is. My mother, she's in this chain of oppression that she has to go to work, she has to feed us. It's that chain, right? And everybody's family back home in the Central Valley is something like that. And if I would have not came to UCLA and get this higher education, I would be adding to that chain, right? So I believe a higher education has the power to break the chains that have kept our families oppressed. The lack of support from teachers, I felt it every day. Trincolit High School has gained this image, as quote-unquote ghetto. And students don't do anything there but, go to high school, drop out, work in the fields. So I just felt like there was a lot of teachers that had this mentality. Who are we supposed to run to when we needed help? All we had was ourselves. Google, pretty much, like Google, okay, what's this? Google it. We had to teach ourselves and help ourselves and just like make a community of students that help each other. I had a friend that was discouraged from a counselor. I think he went one time because he needed help like with the college application. The counselor told him, oh, why are you even applying here? Like you're not even gonna go, or you're just wasting your money or wasting your time. And yeah, it puts you down. Somebody older than you that's supposed to support you just comes down and like shuts it all off. The toughest problem I had from moving from high school to UCLA was that a few days before my graduation, my friend Joanna passed away. She was pregnant and she died in a car accident. I just made my mind believe, okay, like this is not affecting me, I made myself believe that. But in reality it was. I had graduated, my friend had died, like I was about to leave my family all together, and I just felt like I couldn't speak about that. I was just dealing with that on my own, and like I just built up this like this wall to like prevent me from like feeling pain. I was immensely homesick. Like I would cry almost every day. All of my friends were back home. They had each other to support one another, and I wasn't there to support them, and I felt guilty. I felt guilty because I wasn't there. I felt like I wasn't entitled to be happy here at UCLA because while I was here, my mother was hurting because I had left her. I wasn't allowed to like feel any sense of like happiness here, and I just felt like, why am I even here? At the end, you end up getting better. You end up, surpassing this hardship, and it's all okay. I'm a better and stronger person because I went through that. I want to talk about things that affect my community, things that affect me, things that affect my family. So I was just like, I'm gonna make a blog, and in this blog I could speak about like the things that affect my community and myself. The first blog I did was kind of like give students from my community, like from different towns around where I live, give students that left to UC a chance to explain what it was for them to leave and the hardships they endured when they were, as being students in a higher education system, UC Santa Barbara, UC Davis and all these other colleges. I'm very happy because I got a lot of messages back. They're like, oh my God, thank you. I needed this. I needed to hear this, because sometimes you do. Sometimes you just need to hear it, that there's other people like you in different colleges making it, that they're also succeeding as well. Coming to, higher education universities, we definitely don't feel alone. Communities support one another because, we're part of them. So it's like a win-win, we're all in this together and we're all happy for one another. In my high school speech, being that was one of the valedictorians, I promised that I would go back to my community and give back, and I also promised that I would make all my mother's sacrifices and her tears worth it. Just being by here, my existence, here in this campus, and just by working hard, I'm working towards that, and I know one day I'm going to achieve it. I'm going to give back to them everything that I've gained. I want to give back to them and my family. The advice I would give to Central Valley students would be, keep trying, regardless of what the world says, they say that you can't do this and you can't do that and that you're not enough. Just shut those voices out, focus on you and know that you have a power inside of you, and that power could take you to do amazing things. Where you come from doesn't dictate how far you could go in life. But that would be my advice, just to keep going, and that there's a whole world rooting for you.
Change in color. Change in color.